What's going on, everybody? Rob here, Trev2323. That's TREV2323. Subscribe, like, and share. I'm here about the Chicago bungalows because it's supposed to be a record minus 50 wind chill on Wednesday. And normally we have some new windows in our house and some old windows in our house. Little by little we're changing them, but we still have to wrap our windows in plastic in the wintertime. We tried going this year without doing it, and there's a noticeable difference. So what I wanted to show you was the difference. And what I pick up is, I actually just pick up the duct tape, the HD clear, and I pick up the high clarity poly film. The high clarity poly film is what I pick up. And what I did this year is I picked up a Sonatech laser gun so we could see the difference in the air. Like, this is the floors right here. The floors in the basement are 70 degrees, but the walls in the basement, that can't be right. It's saying 54 degrees. It was actually, it might be right because it was saying 56 a little bit ago when I first turned this on. So I venture to say this is within a 3-degree difference. 58 up close to the rafters. What I want to do is actually here is insulate a little thing with insulation right here, and then put styrofoam on here. I'll show you the upstairs. But either way, this is going to be the start of the video because I'm going to show you the windows right now, and then we're going to put the plastic on, and I'll show you the windows after. Alright, so what I am going to do now is, for one, we got to get the plants out of here because this is where my wife keeps her plants. But I opened the blinds to where people cannot see in, but we still get sunlight. But to get the sunlight, but where people can't see through there. And it's going to go on the wood trim. If you can see right there, that's where it was taped before on the wood trim. We're like, oh, that's nice oak trim. And you know what? We like being warm also. So it's going to go around the wood trim. But the little dusty parts, you got to make sure you get all that dust off so the tape sticks really good. And then with the lights and with people seeing it at nighttime, we control that with the curtains. We just open and close the curtains. Is how we control that. So I'm going to take this whole rod down right here. And this is what I'm going to use. I got the paper towel to get all the dust off, wipe it off. I got the poly roll. This is high clarity poly roll. My measuring tape, because I'm just going to measure the width of the window. And then I'm going to cut it a little bit longer and then use the razor blade to actually trim it exact. So I'm going to go ahead right now and take the curtain rod down and get the blinds to where I need them. Well, another trick that I do is, because we got the radiators, is, see, this is a car window to protect the sun in your car from the sun in the summertime. I put it behind the radiator because the wall back here gets so cold, and this blocks it. Let me show you this right here. Alright, so I wiped the whole window down and I got the blinds to where I want them to. So let's do this one more time. See, in the joints is where you get your heat loss. See that? In the joints on the windows is where you get your heat loss, right in there. So that's why we're covering up with the plastic. So I wiped everything down already. I wiped everything down. We got the blinds to where we're at. So I'm going to measure that end right there to that end right there, and I'm going to cut it a little bit longer because measure twice, cut 10 times is what I do, I think. Okay, so the window was 100 inches, so I got the measure tape out, and this is about 101 is what I'm going to cut. I just opened the roll a little bit. I didn't open it all the way, so I know the whole roll. This is 25 feet long by 10 feet wide, so I know I'm going to have to cut the bottom. But I'm going to cut it right at 101 inches across right here to give myself a little bit extra breathing room here. Now that's cut right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unfold it all the way up, and I'm going to start in one corner and tape a good solid piece in a corner on that side, a good solid piece in the middle, and then a good solid piece on the end. So we'll start with that. And I am using Duct Easy Start packing tape is what I'm using. Look how clear that is. You can't even tell. This is the Duct High Clarity. Duct High Clarity. I'll tell you how much mil it is. But see, I started it right here, and it's taped on where you can't even see it. Well, you can see it with the glare in the camera, and my wife is holding the other end all the way, so I'm just going to put a big long piece of tape all the way across. But look how crystal clear. Alright, so this is the duct, and it's one solid piece, and after we put the one solid piece on, we're going to smooth that down first. Okay, so the top part is all done already, and it's high clarity plastic, so you can actually see right through it. I mean, it's like, if you didn't know it was there, if somebody just glancing won't be able to tell the plastic is on there. So now that we started the corner right here, I'm going to do this end come down first. But now when you're coming down, you actually got to have everything real good, because see, you got the lip of the wood right here, and you got a corner at the bottom, and you got to make sure it's sealed. I mean, it's free and it's sealed around this, or maybe put an extra piece on the side, because you will get air gap in here, so you got to make sure that's real good right there. Okay, I got that side all done already. Smooth it down, and you got to take your time in the corners and make sure you got no air leaks in these bottom corners. Now you're going to have a lot of extra at the bottom, so this is where you need the razor blade. But before I do that, I'm actually going to come to this side first, smooth it down, and cut it with the razor blade over here. Alright, I was using the razor blade, but my wife didn't like that line on the wood, so now I'm switching to the scissors, because it is right, you do see a little bit of line on the wood that I was cutting with the razor blade, but I had to use razor blade. It'll cut smoother. You don't need to push it against the wood if you have the new razor blade. Almost done. Home stretch now. All that is done, smoothed, and you, like I said, you got to take your time in these little corners right here, because this is where you get the air loss. So I put like 3 or 4 pieces of tape around here. Now you see how much longer this plastic is? So I'm going to use the scissors and cut along the bottom, right along this, so I can put the tape along the bottom right here. My wife was actually stretching this and holding this as I was putting the tape on, so this way it could be that smooth and that clear. Okay, so this right here, I'm just cutting along the bottom, because this is where the, oh, you know what, if I pull it down more, it'll be a little bit tighter. Well, I don't want it too tight, because it is going to breathe. It is going to need to breathe. Let me tell you this, you will, after you put this up, you'll hear it and you'll see it. It'll be breathing with the heat and the wind. Now the last piece of tape is going to be cuffed around here and then smooth it down, so make sure you got all the dust off the bottom right there. Alright, now all you got to do is put the curtain rods back up, but you can see clear through the windows. You can see through them. They get the sunlight in. Alright, now here we go. I actually didn't have the sunshade down there and the curtains up, so now it's actually going to be able to take a actual measurement. 100 degrees, 77 degrees, 75 degrees. So it makes at least a 10 degrees difference with the plastic. And this right here, I just put it on, so it's gonna, you're still gonna have to give it time to warm up. So that's gonna make the whole living room a lot warmer. Now that's the outside wall right there. See the difference? The outside wall and a window with plastic. Pretty crazy. If you have to, put the plastic on your windows, because it makes a difference. This is a 110-year-old or 112-year-old Chicago home. Little by little, we're replacing the windows. Now if I close these blinds, this is a new window. See the difference with a brand new window? Huge difference. Little by little, they're getting replaced. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and share.